You know how a coach reads his quarterback. You know what is said publicly and privately. What was your take on Bruce Arians publicly criticizing Tom Brady?
I didn't love it. We know that's how Bruce is. He tells it like it is. But I think in that situation with a guy like Tom Brady, you wait till you watch the film, and Brady knew he didn't play his best game. Certain guys, they knew he was going to come out determined the next week, regardless of what happened, regardless of what Bruce said. But for Bruce to say what he said in public, that was just not necessary. And I know Tom said, hey, he's the coach, I'm the player. Tom seemed a little perturbed by it too, as well, because to point out and say, hey, talk about the interceptions he threw right after the ball game and say, the Mike Evans interception was Brady's fault. Well, after you go back and look at the film, you'd say, oh, no, it wasn't Brady's fault. It was Evans' fault. We know Brady shouldn't have threw the one pick six. He made a bad decision on that play when he had the screen open. But you just don't handle a guy like Tom Brady like that. It's not necessary. Coach him, criticize him in practice, things like that. But to do it publicly in that form, it just I didn't think it was necessary.
Did you ever have a quarterback that you played with that kind of had a relationship with a head coach where essentially the agreement was, okay, yeah, you can get on me because I don't want it to seem like I'm above the fray? Is that commonplace? Did you ever have that experience in the NFL?
Man, I gotta think back to I was with Kurt Warner, who was a Hall of Fame quarterback. Mike Martz used to get on Kurt a lot in practice. I don't recall him getting on him publicly. I think he handled it. He was diplomatic, although Kurt didn't really have many bad games either. Trying to think. Other times you kind of carry the quarterback a little bit differently, just because that psyche, their psyche, the nature of the position. Attack them in the meeting rooms. Coach them up, but oftentimes you just in the media you kind of speak in generalities and not necessarily specifics.